But hello, thank you for coming on. It's really good to talk to you. It's always one of those slightly weird things, as with all the other people that I've spoken to on here. Very good friends of mine. We chat often anyway, play lots of games together. But so it's but it's good to have you on. And I am before we go any further, I'm just going to comment on the fact that I want to speak about the sacrifice that Katarina has made this morning. So, because the stream is called Coffee Chat and Minis, Katarina is actually drinking coffee. Now, Katarina is not a coffee drinker, but you've taken that sacrifice for us this morning, haven't you?
Yeah, well, in hindsight, it's a terrible idea because I always get caffeine and sugar rush when I drink this because it has loads of sugar and milk. So it's going to be fun. Yay!
So we'll try and talk about sensible things for the first half, so that for the second half, when you're on the ceiling, you know, we'll just see you running backwards and forwards in the background of the camera, and it'll all be good. It'll all be good. Ah, good times, good times. But yes, so as I did mention, looking forward to completely hyper Katarina. We've got chat excited for the possibility of. But yes, as I mentioned before, it's there's probably not going to be so much like mini chat today because you're not. I know actually I've seen that both of you have painted minis, and they are, yeah. Oh, there you go. You've got some minis ready to go. I spoke too soon. Rainbow State, love it. But we are going to be talking lots of like D&D, RPGs, TTRPGs, all of that kind of stuff. I suppose I say D&D, but a lot of your guys' experience is Pathfinder, isn't it? Which is fundamentally fairly similar. But yeah. So you guys are experienced TTRPGers anyway, aren't you?
Yeah.
This Rainbow State has struck early.
I don't even know if Katarina appreciates us calling it that, but it stuck with me very
No,
much.
my secret is that I'm always in Rainbow State.
Oh.
Ah, dear. Oh dear. But yeah, so you guys have got a lot of like RPG experience and things. You got a long background in RPGs, haven't you?
Yeah. I mean, I've played in some way or another on and off since high school, so that's a while ago.
Yep.
We won't go
Yeah.
into too many details of how
Yep.
long ago it is. It's fine. Less time than it was since I was there, so we'll go for that.
Yeah.
It's yeah. But you've done some stream games as well, haven't you?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say I think I saw Evan is in chat, so I know you've done some games with Evan. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Evan is the pro streamer around of TTRPG games.
Yeah. I mean, I first started playing 3.5, so that was a while ago. Uh, Moved on to Pathfinder, moved on to 5e, and now I play like all the things that I can.
yeah, I think
Uh,
I think that 5e was at least partially like I was going to say my fault, more the boss's fault really that you ended up playing 5e. But then I think we played one game of Pathfinder with you, and it's like get the calculators out at that point.
Yep, yep.
it's
This is
good.
true.
It's good mental exercise when you have to math numbers.
When you have to math numbers, wow, that's that is a big ask.
It is.
Oh dear. Yeah. Yes,
Yeah.
there's a comment of Tomb of Annihilation going on there, but actually, so
Oh
we
yeah.
we played the first TTRPG stuff that we played together wasn't Tomb of Annihilation, was it? We played because Tomb of Horrors came first. I always get confused by which one's
Yep,
which.
yep, yep.
Yeah,
That's
Yep.
true.
yeah,
Uh, it was supposed to be not really a campaign, I think, more like a, let's play this thing and have fun and die a lot.
yeah.
And
Tomb of Horrors
and
well
then
known for the having fun aspect of
yeah,
it. Yeah, yeah,
and we kind of turned it a bit into a let's just chat with our characters the whole session.
And
And
try
and
to open this door. I remember
yeah,
the Tomb of Horrors game where we were like in the hallway and then you have to open a door and then the one behind you closed and then you have to get inside the other one and then it was like a tunnel that went around. I was like, who the fuck built this place? Oops, sorry, I'm stream. Who the who built this place?
I think my favourite fact about Tomb of Horrors, which I think is a fact, and someone might be able to correct me, it's that Tomb of Horrors used to be run at like conventions and things as a see who you could, and the goal was to get as much treasure out as you could, and then some bright spark realised that because the doors are made of some incredibly rare material to make them impossible to break down, the best way to get money out of the Tomb of Horrors is just steal the doors and run outside.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't worry about all the other stuff.
Amazing.
Yeah.
No, that reminds me of one of the first times that I played, like the campaign that we finished with Suri. One of the first things we did was like we kept going into a creature and having to rest for a long time, and so we ended up resting in a room that it had like a gold sheet in the walls.
Right.
You
And
like when like when there's gold paint in churches.
Yeah, like guilt.
Yeah.
we just scraped it all off, took it with us because we had nothing to do.
Oh dear. Oh, right. Well, I'm on watch. What should I do with my watch? I'll just start scraping some walls.
Yeah, that was literally what we were doing.
Yep.
Oh, amazing! It's always those like weird and wonderful little things that make the amusing campaigns.
Yeah.
You know, I think that one of the things that I remember most about the Tomb of Horrors game was that we I think we spent the first session trying to get in, and then the second session we were there, and there's the like I don't want to give any spoilers to anyone, but I imagine if people have played much Tomb of Horrors, they probably know. But there's this big demon face, and it's not great for your health to interact with this thing. I don't want to go into too much detail, but literally the first character just walked in and went, "I'm going to poke it." We lost 3 characters that way. Yeah, it was good times. And then yeah, so we played Tomb of Horrors for quite a long time, didn't we? And then for some unknown reason, I think we got to the end of Tomb of Horrors, and suddenly no, we didn't get to the end of Tomb of Horrors. You're right. We got to the end of the bit of Tomb of Horrors that we did, and we were like, no, time to book it out of here.
Yeah.
And then we had a chat the next week where we were like, okay, so we've really enjoyed this. It was going to be a one-off, but let's play some more D&D. And then I don't know how that turned into great. We're going to immediately start Tomb of Annihilation. Who thought that was a good idea?
It had just come out, and it had like a lot of interesting stuff, and I think none of us really realized how dungeony it can be as well.
Yeah. I think we all kind of I remember distinctly our views on these things changing as well. We were like, oh yeah, it's quite an interesting idea, having all the, like, you have to survive, you have to make sure you have water for all these things. So the first few sessions, we were buying these like umbrellas that filtered water down so we could drink. And then after about 3 sessions, we were like, please, can we just like move to the next location? We've encountered 53 little tree things, and we've moved about 6 feet towards the next objective. Yeah.
Oh man.
And we didn't even finish Tomb of Annihilation either, did we?
Yeah. Nope.
Nope.
Yeah.
It just came to a point where we realized nobody was really having as much fun as they could have.
Yeah.
So we were like, we can decide not to do this.
Yes. Yeah, we're grown-ups. We don't need to keep doing this thing we hate.
And I feel like the most fun we had was in the beginning when we were just role playing and being silly, and then in the middle when we got the downtime and got to places and got to interact with each other, because like the crossing of the whole jungle was like, nope.
Yeah, and fortunately we had a very understanding and helpful DM who we kind of got to that stage, and it kind of became increasingly like, okay, well, instead of doing an encounter every hex, we'll do one every 2 hexes, every 5 hexes. We might do one if if you travel a long way. Yeah, so it's always the basically every time we've played D&D, and there's quite a few people in chat who've played in the games that we've played in, which is awesome. It's really good to see Evan, who was in those campaigns as well. It's always those times where we're just chatting and having those character moments. That's always the better thing than the real hardcore dungeon tennis.
Yeah.
Or whatever that was.
It was like tennis. Hacking.
Okay. It wasn't dungeon
works.
tennis. Yeah. No. But yeah, so eventually we gave up on Tomb of Annihilation as well, didn't we? Because as someone mentioned in chat, after that first like TPK. Yeah, we survived. Well, we survived. We had a TPK, and they were like, okay, well, we'll create new characters. And then I think we slogged on. we slogged
I
on for about
actually
another
had
month.
2 character deaths
You had
in
two
that
character
game.
deaths. Yeah, I think I only had the first character death was the first TPK, and then we TPK'd again. I think, didn't we?
No,
Did
I
we
think
not,
it
or
No,
did we
was
just
no, no.
decide against it?
Yeah, I think we've encountered an NPC that we thought might be our friend and then turned out not to be, and it was like that last betrayal, you know? That last betrayal. That
Yeah.
I think that's what did it.
I
yeah.
think there were a few double character deaths as well, weren't they? Because I know Rush had 2 character deaths, I think, as well.
Yeah.
I'm just trying
Yeah.
to think. Yeah.
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 Yeah. So yeah, it wasn't quite the same after that first one.
Mhm.
Bag of nails. Yes, that was the guy's name.
Ah,
Yeah, yeah,
the catfolk?
The
No, the
tabaxi.
tabaxi, yeah.
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 Oh yeah, and he just like poisoned us. Oh, rude, rude.
Yeah.
We were like, yeah. This Tabaxi's our friend. He'll help us. Oh no. Okay. He's just
Yeah.
crazy.
I remember how sad the boss looked when she realized what was gonna happen.
Yeah, because it was.
Oh.
And it was all because we'd gathered a merry band of NPCs with us as well. Wasn't it? It was
Yeah.
like every time we'd
Yeah.
met someone, we were like, "Oh yeah, just come along. How bad can this Tomb of Annihilation be? You can join us." So we had like a young girl cleric who was with
At
us.
some point, yeah.
Yeah.
I know, but we left her behind actually by that point, hadn't we?
Yeah, and then we
Yeah.
TPK'd.
Yep.
Yeah,
Which,
we'll
I
come
mean,
back for you.
wise decision.
Yeah. I mean,
At
that's true.
least she's alive.
It was good. It was good.
I think that's our greatest accomplishment is not having killed her in the jungle.
Yeah.
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 We actually helped out one person. So yeah. That's because cats are adorable, but all bastards. There we are. Yeah, she's living with the Aarakocra now, which is not a euphemism.
true.
She's not like she's not gone to a farm upstate or whatever. She's living with the Aarakocra now. Yes, but good times. But then now we're playing some. Well, I was going to say more light-hearted games. One of them is well, we've got a couple going on kind of simultaneously, haven't we? We started one, and then it's been on hiatus while we've been playing another one. So I started DMing one basically, and then I failed to plan for enough weeks, I think. And then so someone else was like, "I'm just going to DM what's going on." No, it wasn't. It was all very amicable, obviously. But yeah. So the one we're playing in mainly at the moment it's a really serious setting. It's like horror. It's like, can we survive? Can we not survive? And yet the reference.
Are we alive?
Yeah, are we alive? Are we dead? And yet the reference to mystical facial hair earlier on in the piece is from this one, because all our characters are just playing pranks on each other which involve facial hair. One character, what was it? One character was like meditating, channeling a spell for 8 hours or something.
Yeah.
And so one of our other members, so my character turned Katarina's character, I think it was, into like mist, did fog, cast fog, and so she hovered on the guy's face to try and pretend he'd actually accidentally been doing this for like 30 years or something. So had a big grey beard. We've had like
A big grey ghost beard.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's been so long, your beard has turned into a ghost. And then was it your character, Leonor, who created the multicolored moustache that was flying around all over the place? Yeah.
So I think it was your both your characters were talking about your prank and we're talking about mustaches, and so she while that was happening, she created a mustache in one of your faces, then the other, and mustaches are all around.
Yeah,
At some
absolutely.
point, there was a multicolored, glowing mustache just running away into the jungle or the forest.
Yeah, I think we decided that it was some kind of creature that was out to get us or something. Yeah. Oh man, good times. Good times. Well, you mentioned earlier on about the campaign with Suri in it. So I happen to know. Oh, that's amazing! I love it. I absolutely. That's like a mini. There you are. Is that knitted?
That is Suri. Yeah, it was a friend of ours who did it.
That's really cool. I love it.
Yeah, I actually have mine, but it's like up there.
Oh no, just out of reach. That's all good. That's all good. But I happen to know that campaign is the basis of the comic that you've been working on for a while and have just released, which is very cool. So you better tell us about well, you can tell us about the campaign, and then we can kind of talk about the comic from there.
So it started because we 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 like a group of friends, or the three of us, I think, three of us, and then another friend joined very shortly after. Wanted to okay.
Katerina is forcing me to hydrate while she's talking about the campaign. Unfortunately, I only have coffee for this morning. I forgot to bring any water, but I'll hydrate with coffee. It's fine. All right, shut off.
It was that typical story of, oh, let's play like a game for a birthday, and then we didn't stop. So I ended up DMing this long campaign in the Pathfinder setting, which I was not really familiar with at first. And everybody created characters like on the spot. So Suri was also created like for just the one shot. And when eventually I asked people, okay, since we're doing a campaign, why don't you guys like give me backgrounds? Like if you want to flesh out your character and stuff. And Katarina sent me like a couple, like couple paragraphs, a short description.
I think if I could just interrupt quickly,
Yeah,
I think we can
please.
agree that for Katerina, that's like a huge background compared to some of the amounts.
That's what I do, like 1 paragraph, 2 paragraphs, maybe a page if I'm feeling generous.
I love that there's like because obviously the art stuff comes through and you can create this amazing like character art and all this stuff going on, and then it's like there's this 1 paragraph background for this character.
I think that I tend to think more visually at times and like have the picture first, and then as I play I get to find out more about the background. So usually I don't put a lot in there, because if later the character changes into a different thing, I won't have to like backtrack what I said or something like that.
Yeah. I think that's always important, is not having your character so nailed down before you even play a game that you kind of back yourself into a corner with these things.
Yeah, absolutely.
Carlos is saying it's just a cloud of words. I assume he's saying his characters are like 0 paragraphs. Like, right, I'm going to go in, no background, I can do this.
I'll just write like for Sooty, glitter, gold, shiny, heel, fox, blue. There. Background done.
That's just like a game of Boggle. You're just writing down the words that you've seen. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think honestly, you don't really need more. Like the 2 paragraphs was more than enough for me as a DM to know, okay, I get where the character is coming from. I get like the 2 or 3 major things that happened in her life. That's fine. And there was basically a couple of NPCs that she mentioned, or people from her background that she mentioned. And I felt like there was only really one of them that I could pick up on to like introduce background stuff. Like, because
the only one that was alive.
This is also true.
I like it, given that you talked about it in like bullet points. I'm imagining it's just like name dead, name dead.
Oh no, there was no names.
Oh, just
no names.
Like,
Surrey met 53 people. 52 of them are now dead.
No, it was like the tragic backstory background that I got for her, like no parents, village all killed. This person saved her. I didn't define gender, or I just had it is an half orc because it's what made sense into the story.
Right.
And then nothing else.
Yeah.
And then she joined the party.
Yeah. So I think I'm gonna tell like this in a little more detail, because that's like something that's already out in the story, which is that basically the thing that happened was, so this village was attacked, as she described, and she was saved by this person, this half orc, and then she ran away because she was scared, because this person looked a lot like the attackers. So reasonable reaction, she ran. and that was like the one thing that I knew because of like interactions that had been happening during the campaign. That was like the one thing that Suri, or that I saw that Suri had not been like, hadn't resolved from her background.
Resolved
So
or had died. I mean,
yes.
I suppose death is a resolution in this sense, but
yeah, I
Oh,
mean
sure.
that she could actually do something about, I guess. So I had been like putting background stuff into for different characters at that point in the campaign. So they had been trying to find another character's family. They were in a country where another of the characters could go look for his own background. There was like other clues there, like another character I knew I only wanted to like put stuff in at the higher level because that's what made sense for me. It was like for me, as a DM, the good time to introduce something for Suri. And I thought, okay, so what has this person become? What has he been doing these past 2 years? I decided that it was a he apparently at that point. And so that's how Handur came into being. I gave him the name like in the session where he came into the game because I absolutely forgot to name the new important NPC.
That's such a classic DM move, right? I've thought out everything this character has done in the last 2 years. I figured this out, figured out what they were doing there on that day, why they're coming back into it. Oh, their name.
Yep, exactly.
I like to imagine you just kind of went, it's Hander.
That might have been it. I honestly don't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I tend to, even when I create characters, the last thing I do is choose a name because I'm really picky about the names and I want to choose a good one, whatever that means.
Yeah.
So basically, I knew what he had been doing. I knew his motivations. I knew what he would think and feel and consider once he found her again. And then I thought, oh fuck, sorry, oh damn it, the name.
It's fine. I'll put a warning on this stream so that people beware.
Because we are bad mouths. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's all right. It's all right. I need to put like a little bleep button on my thing.
Yeah. Well, technically, I was born in a city where swear words are like punctuation marks, so
it would actually be, it wouldn't be fair for me to discriminate against you by not letting you swear.
yeah.
Okay.
I lived there for less than a year, like 1 year, but yeah.
So I shudder to think what your first word was. It had 4 letters anyway. Actually, I don't know. Do Portuguese swear words have 4 letters in them generally? Because in English you talk about swear words are often synonymous with like 4-letter words. I don't know. Honor GS suggests
I don't know. Longer,
right.
yeah.
Okay.
Most of them longer, I think.
Yeah.
Interesting. Now my brain is like, just run through all the English ones that are 4 letters. Like, I've just said that I'm gonna have to like put a warning on this. I can't just start listing swear words off on a Saturday morning. Yeah, not ideal. But yeah. So far from Honor GS, we've got butt and sass as suggestions for your first word.
But in Portuguese is also 4 words, 4 letters. Sorry,
Yeah.
4 words for butt.
That would be awkward, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Trying to describe something. Yeah. But yeah. Oh, there you go. So it could be. Saturday A swears. Yeah. Exactly. I hope people have woken up properly and they're not waking up to us discussing all these swear words as we go. But it's all good. Oh, Carlos suggests 5 letters for butt.
Oh, it's 4. Well, you can do it with 2 actually.
Is this like? See, now I'm thinking because obviously, so Carlos is Brazilian Portuguese.
Yeah.
So I wonder if that has a difference.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Because I don't think this is a really bad swear, but it's kind of like, so an American would say ass, which sounds really stupid in my accent as like an English accent, albeit being Scottish. But so I would say arse, which sounds, now that I'm saying it like that, arse. But yeah, it's maybe that's it's like the difference between English and American English. I've decided.
Yeah.
So we've got the suggestion of twin tweak no, I can't speak. Twin-cheeked poop seat for a butt. There you are. Good.
The
So
words, yeah.
I think perhaps we should move off this topic.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Join
was
join
going.
us next week for Saturday Morning if Profanity.
Oh, oh, that's a good show name.
Saturday
but,
Morning Profanity. Yeah, I'll get you out of bed
that
just by
actually
swearing
sounds
at you
bad.
loudly. Good.
So I was going to say that one thing that we should point out is that the comic is different from the campaign.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we tried to get the feelings and their dynamic right, and a lot of things that would make sense to have as well in the comic, but it's very different.
Yeah, that's true. I'm just answering chat.
Oh no,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Stop.
I had to warn them earlier as well. So, not to give you, too much of a view behind the curtain of this professional stream that you're watching here, but so I had a chat with them just beforehand, just to make sure all the tech's working and everything. And I had to say that I'll still have my sound from the call on, just in case they tell me something that needs to happen. And I had to warn them not to just try and put me off for like 5 minutes of like shouting things down the chat. To just try.
We did so good.
Yeah, you were very
so
well
good.
behaved. You were very well behaved. Good. Yeah.
It's derailing now.
Yeah. There we are. It's fine.
For everyone to see.
Yeah, I did say it was just going to be like a conversation between friends. So
Yeah.
they're now getting an indication of what all our like D&D sessions are like. To be fair,
Yep.
like we stopped playing D&D about 15 minutes ago because we've been talking about random nonsense. We had one session just a few weeks ago actually, which was like, oh, we'll just have a quick chat before we start playing, and then we just chatted for like 2 hours, and it was like, oh, okay,
Yep.
I guess we're not playing D&D today.
Yeah. At some point, I was like looking at my notebook and then, maybe I should close this.
Yeah.
Bye.
Oh dear, but yeah, good times.
Worth it.
I'm gonna quickly put a link to the comic into the chat. I'll do
Yeah,
it again
thank
later
you.
on.
Yeah.
If I can find the right one.
Trying
You're-
to pick up where Catarina left off earlier.
But
About half an hour ago. Oh,
Yeah.
there you go. There's 2 links into the chat.
Thank you.
Double link. Do check it out. It is really good, but we'll talk about it a bit more in a minute.
Thank you. Yeah, just trying to go back to what Katerina was saying. So basically, the beginning of the story is actually pretty much what happened in Suri's background and what Katerina described, and our interpretation of how that happened.
Right.
Like now knowing how the other character actually is, and then when they meet again, that part is not at all like it happened in the game, because like in the game, Handur is a paladin of one of the like better known goddesses in the Galarian setting, so we obviously changed his goddess, we changed all of that stuff, but so and he was not like in the same situation as they are when the story in the comic happens.
Right.
So they are they are in a very different situation, and the party is actually like escaping a very complicated situation, and then they meet up with this other group of which he makes part, and then they go to a sort of a fortress that the paladins of his order are controlling.
Right.
So that's a whole different dynamic and situation. But what we wanted to keep was like their connection, their worries, their like the conversations that actually happened between us in game, and where like the consequences of those conversations.
and their states of mind in a way, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess it's probably difficult as well because obviously if it's a campaign with, I think you said there were two other players.
Three other players.
But
Yeah.
Four at one
Four.
point.
Right.
Four at one point, but
But
then one left. Yeah.
I guess if you're trying to tell the story of Suri and Handur, you're trying to not bring in other people's characters, and because that's kind of their story.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Yeah. I think it wouldn't be fair for them to just be the backdrop of this story, and
Yeah.
it wouldn't make sense to focus so much on this story if we're trying to also tell that other story, which is obviously of heroes and adventures and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because
So
like in reality, the Surya and Andur met like 4 times in game or 5 times in game total. So it wouldn't even make like for a good story if we were trying to like keep it close to the
Yeah.
campaign, because we'd just be jumping timeline to timeline and then trying to explain everything that happened between that.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we basically changed the story to fit like what we had, like to make a story that would tell what we wanted to tell, basically.
Okay.
And this was not our first time making comics together, because we had like a lot of years ago, I would say 10 years, no,
Oh God.
8 9 years ago, we joined like a thing that was happening in Lisbon, that was like 24-hour comics, where we would go like a bunch of people into a room and make comics for 24 hours straight.
Yeah. Like a super intense workshop, basically.
Yeah, it was a terrible idea, but
It was
I
a
mean,
lot of fun.
I think after about, I mean, I'm obviously I do the art of mini painting, but I'm not a drawer. That's not a good word. I don't do drawing, I don't do painting, that kind of thing. But so I'd be terrible at that anyway. But even so, after about 5 or 6 hours, I think my brain would just turn to mush,
yeah,
and so I'd have sort of 18 hours of not
Yeah.
knowing what I'm doing.
that's
Yeah,
where
and-
the
Right.
sugary rainbow state came from, because it
Yep.
was like no sleep deprivation with coffee and
Amazing.
Lots
caffeinated
of sugar.
drinks and lots of sugar.
Right.
It
Yes,
was
I like
terrible.
I like to imagine then that you've got like 6 hours at the beginning where you're kind of productive, and then this rainbow state hits, and then you've got like 6 hours at the end. So you have like the beginning and end of a comic, and then the middle is just like, what on earth was I doing? Like
Yeah.
some kind of drug trip going on in the middle there.
Yep.
Yeah, there were times where we would just like be very focused, and other times where we would just like wee.
Yeah.
That sounds
And
about right.
I would like to point out that at the time I had zero training in drawing.
Yeah.
So I don't know what I was doing there. I did not know at the time what I was doing there. I was trying really hard, but I had no skills.
Well, I had like because we did this like 3 years. On the first one, I had like some hobby experience in drawing, mostly from some boring college classes, and that was mostly that. So we were just like, I don't know what I'm doing here, but it's fun.
Yeah, that's
And
the
we
thing.
went
As long
with
as you're having
friends that
fun.
actually knew how to draw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So,
I
yeah.
was amused. It's just I saw, as we were talking about the comic stuff a couple of times, Katerina took a sip of coffee, kind of held it in her mouth for as long as possible before forcing herself to swallow, and immediately drinking some water. So yeah, I think it's I can tell that that's a hard-worn tactic that you've managed to get to.
No, I'm almost there.
I did suggest that Katerina
This is
maybe
a
just
terrible
keep some
idea.
milk next to her, so every time she takes a sip, she could dilute it all the more. Oh, you're doing so well. You're doing so well. I'm nearly through my my small coffee as well, so we're doing well. We're doing well. It's all good. Yes, but so let's talk a little bit more about the comic specifically, I guess. So obviously you kind of talked about where the story came from, but what's your process? Because you're both involved like throughout. It looks, from seeing the like title page at the beginning, like it must go backwards and forwards between you about 15 times as these things are going forward.
Yeah. So basically the story is obviously both of ours. We've developed the characters together in roleplay, and that's honestly where most of it. That's where everything starts. We've role played the characters in the game. We role play them like, for example, if we wanted to give them like a sort of a conclusion after the game ended, because obviously the game ended with like the characters winning and defeating the big bad and all of that. And then at the end of the last session, everybody described what they thought the characters would do from them on, and like had like a nice session to like conclude everything. And then Katerina and I decided that we wanted to see like what would Suri and Handur's story be from there, because she was not off saving the world anymore. So that's kind of where everything then started to cement a bit more. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say that it was also like a good way to get to learn more about Handur, because at that time you had been an NPC. So it's different getting to know a character in a closer way than just an NPC, even for Leonor.
Especially if it had been like, did you say they'd met like 5 times or something?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
They obviously knew each other, and you had all these ideas, but they weren't really fleshed out.
Yeah. So they obviously had like a sort of a connection because of a lot of stuff that was happening in the campaign. But it was like I knew what his background was, what his story was, why he said the things he said, but he was obviously an NPC, and I always made sure not to put him into the story too much, because that wouldn't be fair for the characters and for the players.
Yeah, DMPCs can really derail campaigns, can't they?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's not my favorite kind of story to tell, so I just try to keep him like as an NPC, like in the background. He may be important, the character may like him, but the story is player story. And we got the chance to do something different after the campaign ended. And then Catarina found out that Webtoons had a contest for new stories, and we thought we would really, really, really like to try and do this, because, as Catarina said, we had been trying to make a comic together for God knows how long, and it had never been really easy for us to do that. And then we thought, why don't we try and pick up this story, because we know it very well, and try to flesh it out and change what needs to be changed. And then obviously we did not make it in time for the competition. But
so it's a good encouragement, but it didn't end up being the case.
Yeah,
it was a push.
And honestly, it was best that it happened that way, because now we can like flesh out the story as we like, and with how many ever episodes we need to, instead of trying to cramp everything together.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we had like 3 months to make 5 episodes at most, and we were like, that's
not gonna happen.
Yeah. So how long have you actually been working on this then? When did that push come? I don't actually know when you kind of started work on it.
What is time?
Was it pre-lockdown?
No, it wasn't pre-lockdown, but it wasn't a long time. I think it was like, wasn't it like June or something last year?
So getting on for a year ago.
I think we started. Yeah, I think we started a little before June, like
May,
because I think the end of June was the deadline, and we were like,
that's true.
Yeah, we have we can do this. No, we can't.
That's all right. It's only like a year past there. You're all good. It's okay. No, you're not there yet.
Yeah, but so once we started to do it, and we realized, okay, we're doing it. So you asked earlier about the process. It was like RP, and then I picked up everything that we had RP'd, and I started writing the script. So trying to write it in a way that would make sense for a comic, and that was a learning process, which you can read about in my Patreon if you want. And then Catarina would like sketch out some of the stuff, and then so basically she would sketch out each panel and ink it, and then I would like paint them, and then she would help with the shading. So it's a bit of a back and forth process. And right now I am starting to sketch out a lot of the thumbnails before she actually does the magic art thing, to help with the storytelling and the storyboarding and all of that. Because it made a lot more sense since I wrote the script, so it's like easier for me to like transport one thing to the other. And then obviously it's great to have 2 people so we can go back and forth and see how better to do things. So often I will like draw something out in like really bad doodles, and then when Catarina draws over it, it's like this amazing art. In my eyes, anyway.
Unless it's a horse. Let's, yeah.
Yeah.
Hooves are
big
for
enemies.
chumps. It's fine. Yeah. Yeah, that does seem to be a bit of a recurring thing. I've seen a lot of people. As I say, I don't do any like drawing and things like that really. So I have the advantage that someone's already sculpted a horse for me to paint. I don't have to worry about that too much. But yes, it does seem to be a bit of yes, horses are just big dogs. So there you go.
No, we've had this conversation, Carlos. I can't draw dogs. Oh, wait. I can't draw dogs either. I
Coffee's
got
hitting
it.
in.
I got there. Uh,
Yeah.
oh,
Oh, a sneak preview of the emote that's yeah, I'll dig that out while we're chatting. Oh.
I can also
It's-
get it here, I guess.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can put it up on my screen though, because that's probably
Oh,
easier
yeah,
way
that's
to do it.
that's a good
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah. So I'll work on that. That's a good good question. I'll work on that while I'll try and do
Yeah.
two things at once. What could possibly go wrong?
It's okay.
We can
we'll
talk.
cover.
We can
We'll
talk.
cover.
We
Okay,
talk.
go.
Yeah.
Serpentine, serpentine.
Uh, so basically, yes. The answer to yes, there is a lot of back and forth between us, but I think that's actually a good thing for us. It keeps it easier for us to make sure that we're both on the same page about the story and how we want to tell it and what are the important things.
Good to see that. Yes, there you are. There's the image. Small in the middle of the screen. I didn't actually mean to put it up while Lenore was talking. I apologize.
No, that's fine.
It was meant to
That's
go
fine.
up on my other screen, and then it appeared.
No worries.
There. But there you are. There's the little
They
emotes
can
that
still
you're
hear
gonna
me.
get. Yeah.
It
It was
is
just
so tiny.
slightly rude to just pop it up in front of you. Oh, I talk. Oh, he's a goblin emote. Yes, I thought it was going to open on my other screen, which is why it was there suddenly. But I apologize.
It's fine.
There you are.
Pro streamers.
Yeah, pro streamers. We love it. Good. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel on what Leonor was saying that it is a good thing that we keep changing opinions and so we get to a better thing. So we have 1 and 1, it makes 2, which makes things better. I'm so good at math. I guess.
You were
Let's
talking
go
about
play
doing
some
math with numbers
Pathfinder.
earlier, so you're just proving that you can do it. It's all that
Yeah.
Pathfinder training. I like it. But
Yeah.
I do think though it's one of those things like when someone is that's later in the
no.
series. But I think especially when someone is so close to you, just having one person write it can be. I guess the danger is it can become really kind of self-indulgent and whatever. Whereas with two people working together, you can kind of have those two different things going on. And you even though you've discussed the characters so much, you know the characters, but even so, having the character viewpoint from the person who played the character.
Yep.
Yeah,
in
that's
there.
helpful.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Because there's
'cause-
always some nuances, I think, to a character that a player or creator knows.
Yeah. There's been moments where I'm unsure, like, how would Suri say this in a dialogue, and I can ask Katarina. And there are times where I'm like looking at like her sketches and stuff, and she's asking me how should I put Tandur in this scene and his expression and all of that. So it's really nice to be able to have the person to ask those things.
Yeah.
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 I did as we were going through, and you were talking about the fact that this was kind of a story written around the campaign. It did kind of make me think. I think this almost sounds like I'm being a bit mean, but I'm not. But it's almost like you're getting to write a fan fiction of your own campaign, which I think is really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like canon fan fiction in a
Yeah.
way. It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do
Yeah.
like though that. So I mean, obviously, Katarina is well known for her shipping properties, where any two characters, any two characters who have a meaningful conversation are suddenly in a ship. So I'm looking forward to seeing that coming
You're
through.
being generous there. Having a meaningful conversation.
Yeah.
is
Okay.
like-
Two people
It's
looked at each other.
Looking
Oh,
at each
ship.
exactly.
Yeah. Pretty much. It's,
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a talent that you have, Katarina. What can we
Yeah.
say?
Yeah, let's call it that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would like to say that it's absolutely in that spirit of things, because we've I think we've talked about this before, like in other conversations with the group and stuff, that we have like similar tastes and similar ways of looking at stories. So essentially when we when we see a movie or when we like read something that the other one has read, we go like, and how about X and X? And we were like, yes. So we kind of have the same tastes. So our stories tend to go in the same direction, which helps when we're trying.
Yeah, that's the challenge, as we were saying before, of having two different voices who can kind of offer different views. You don't want them to be too far apart. You do need to have that common ground, because if you're like, what on earth? Where have you even come from to get to this? Yeah, I think you need to have a little bit of, and I guess, I mean, you guys have known each other. I don't want to say forever, but you guys have known each other a long time, right? So you kind of have that, backwards and forwards, and
I mean, we met first year of college.
It was 2007. Oh God!
Yeah, long while.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, as we've commented before on this stream, like Belladorian and I have known each other since, well, about 1987 or something. So
I was not born.
Yeah.
Me either.
Yeah, to be fair, I mean, I think he was barely born at the time. I was only born in 1984, so we've known each other since we were very young, I think, is the thing.
Yeah.
So but...
Ship. It could be a friendship.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Sorry. So there you go. So Belladorian is saying I was about 1.5 when we met, apparently. Unsurprisingly, I don't think either of us actually remember when we first met.
Yeah, makes sense.
First impressions.
Since I don't remember what happened last week, that's not surprising for me. But Belladorian actually has a memory. But Carlos is showing off. He's even younger.
Yeah, Bobby Carlos.
Yeah, so there's me talking about like being born in 1984, and that's like probably like when I was younger, and people were talking about like, oh yeah, born in the 60s. Like,
oh God.
Yeah, I know. I'm getting on a bit now. What can I say? But there we are. You're only as old as you feel, so I'm 250.
My grandma will still say I'm 19, so that's fine.
Yeah, I would take it.
Yeah, what is time now with lockdown? Yeah, I am simultaneously like 30 and 600 at this point. Yeah. We decided, we actually talked about this yesterday, about how if you add 1 year onto your actual age based on how many of your body parts are failing you, that puts me in, I'm approaching triple digits at this point.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's all good. So yeah, the first I've realised we're running out of time, so I need to I need to wrap these things up. But the first episode of is that what you'd call it? First issue, first something.
Yeah, episode. Yeah,
first episode of the comic is out now. I'm gonna the link's already in there, but if someone wants to put it in again, that's good. So it's coming out once every 2 weeks. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Every Tuesday.
Yeah.
Every other Tuesday, not every Tuesday. Every Tuesday, every 2 weeks.
Yeah. So the next one will be up on April 13th.
Cool.
And so we were talking about earlier that it took us like almost a year to get here, but that's also because we decided to create like a buffer of episodes so that we wouldn't be like, oh no, we need to make another one, it's like a week from now, because so we didn't want to get into that situation, so we created enough that we could have realistically some time to keep creating it. And obviously the more we do, the more easier it gets for us to create an episode.
But yes, if it had taken you a year to create the first one, and then you'd given yourself 2 weeks to create the second one,
and then
optimistic.
The one with horses took like 3 years. In the meantime,
you didn't even know it, but 3 years ago you just started drawing horses, and suddenly, I mean, you didn't make it easy for yourself, because I saw a panel when you were streaming at one point, Catarina, that had like 8 horses or something in it in one panel, and that's multiple panels of the same thing.
I keep cursing at Catarina for like thinking this was actually a good idea.
And like, why did the DM give us so many horses? Yeah. Eventually it becomes a world where horses become extinct. Oh no, I don't have to draw them anymore. It's deviating from the campaign.
Yeah, I think where the episode we're creating now is like they got someplace and now suddenly there are no horses.
Yeah,
the horses are over there. They are fine. They are taken care of. They're over there.
But there's
never
loads
to
of
be
dogs.
seen. No, no,
They're right.
no
It's just
cats
they're
or birds.
yeah. There's barely any humans. It's fine. Yeah. My favourite character in the whole thing is a minor character that came up for no particular reason. Who he wasn't in the first one. No, he's not in the first one, is he? When
No.
does he?
No.
When am I gonna see? When do I get to see my naked Axeman?
He literally just exists in that episode. Episode
Oh,
six,
sorry.
I think.
episode
Yeah.
6. Okay, so I've got a few weeks to wait yet for
And he's
naked
taking
Axeman
a
to appear.
foot to the face.
Yeah, yeah. Also,
That's the
I
thing
should
ship there.
yeah, I should say, naked Axeman. He's actually he's topless, but you can only see his top half. So we extrapolated that he must just be naked. Possibly an erroneous extrapolation. There you go. I've had a lot of coffee, haven't I?
No,
Um,
I feel like it's fair. It's
Yeah.
fair to take that.
Yeah. I mean, they're running away. There's people in many different kinds of preparedness to get them. Everything's fine.
Wait,
Hey, there
Oh,
he
there
is.
he is.
there you go.
he is.
Main character.
There he is. Oh, I'd forgotten he's wearing like a bandolier or something. So
Yeah.
he's not naked. Let's
Just for that.
yeah,
bit.
exactly. A very carefully positioned bandolier.
Yeah.
Yes, I like it. I like it. Maybe it's like in Zardoz, Sean Connery's costume. This is going off on a bit of a tangent as well. But yeah, there's a really old rubbish film called Zardoz, where Sean Connery basically wears like I don't know what you call them, like latex, like the equivalent of tighty whities,
Oh,
and like
man.
a leather crossover. Yeah, it's amazing. Look it up. Google Sean Connery Zardoz. This goes for everyone
Oh,
in chat.
no.
If you don't know
I
what I'm
need to
talking
do
about.
that now.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, no.
Do it. I won't show it. I won't show it on stream because I'll probably be breaking copyright or whatever. But yeah,
How do you write stars? Oh, okay, I got it. It's,
yeah.
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 Just Z's all
If,
over.
If Katarina just rocks in her chair for the remaining minutes of the stream, you'll know what the problem is. Yeah, it's a sensation.
Oh my! Oh!
Why?
Oh.
Why would they
Oh.
And
do
on
this?
that note,
Oh!
I'm glad that I could
Oh,
inflict
no.
that upon you for the last couple of minutes of the stream. I know,
He also has the braid. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
I know. It's such a weird film as well. We we watched this a few months ago now. It's one of those things, like I've seen that image many times and I didn't know where it was from, and then we watched, and the film is weird. Like it's about as weird as you'd expect from a costume like that.
Well, like, one of the photos that I'm looking at has like Sean Connery with that amazing costume over a lady who is in a net.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
that happens in the film. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm hoping by that comment in chat, Carlos, you've also had a look at the picture, just to all you young naive people. What can I say? Yeah, good times. Well, on that note, it's like 11 o'clock now, so you just found another good picture.
So, Katarina, when are you drawing Net Lady?
Oh God!
Yeah. So I'm assuming if Naked Axeman turned round, he'd just have like, because Sean Connery's just got a moustache in that, hasn't he? Yeah. I assume if he turned round, it would just be Sean Connery with a moustache. It's like Borat from the 70s. That's a great shout, Andy.
That is now canon. By the
Yeah,
way.
yeah. He's lying over that woman in the net, going, "It's nice." Good. Well, I'm not sure why we decided to end there, and by we, obviously, I don't think you guys can take any blame for that at all. Why is he wearing thigh-high boots? If that's your biggest concern, I really think that there's there are more issues. But yes, it is a valid concern, certainly. Yeah, it's a weird. It's kind of like, it kind of made me think of the Time Machine, because there's like the H.G. Wells book, because there's like the people who have everything and like the people who have nothing, and yeah, I mean that's a fair point. If you've gone for the rest of the outfit, there's no other option than thigh-high boots, are there? Let's be honest. But yes, so now that you've got the film recommendation for the week, so if you've got a spare couple of hours, watch anything other than Zardoz. That's film reviews with the Goblin Squire. Yes, so Yes, it's all good. But thank you so much for coming on. It is now 11 o'clock, so I should let you guys go. You've entertained my whims of these things for long enough. But I really did. I enjoyed the first episode of the comic so much.
Thank you.
And I am really looking forward to the future ones coming out. Only way to keep
Thank
part
you.
of you warm. Yeah, I don't think temperature is the issue. Sorry. But yes. Yes, really, really good, and obviously, I mean, we're playing D&D again on Wednesday, I think, aren't we? So
Yeah,
I'll see you then
yeah.
anyway.
Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah,
yes,
let's play it this time. Yeah.
yeah. But also chat. Well, we've had
Yeah.
all of this time to chat. Oh, fine. Oh, we could have just been playing D&D this morning. Katarina would have preferred that. It's all good. It's all good. But no, it has been really good. Just before I go, because I'm not going to do a little wrap up. I'm just going to go from here. The next week on Coffee Chat and Minis, Andy is going to be on, and we're going to do the first of my top fives. So this is my kind of plan. I know we haven't quite decided what our topic is just yet, but we're going to. So the top fives are kind of the idea is. Oh, Katarina's got an idea.
Top 5 Sean Connery costumes.
Yes.
I feel like we need to do like a Goblin Squire After Dark stream for that. One of my favourite. Yeah. Oh, there you go. Andy suggested top 5 Zardos cosplays as well. Geek Curious just found Sean Connery in a wedding dress, so we're looking good. But anyway, yeah. Next week, top 5. So the idea is it's kind of like the chat today. Andy and I will be chatting. It's just like two friends having a coffee. Discussing what our top 5 of something would be. There's no right or wrong answers. It's just, we talk about what ours are, we discuss, we kind of go from there. So that's the plan for next week. I promise you, in case you're worried, I promise you it's not going to be Zardoz themed. Yes. And Andy and I both like coffee, so there won't be any grimacing at drinking coffee. It's fine. You can, if you haven't got through it, you can. You don't have to drink the rest of it, Katarina. I promise.
I mean, I'm almost at the end, and it's not too bad. It has like a little taste of coffee.
If you've only got like that much left at the bottom of a mug that big, the rest of it milk. I suggested to Katarina earlier she should use condensed milk in future. So I've started her down the dark path. But yeah, sorry. We should probably just stop chatting now because I'm just going on for ages. But it's been such a fun stream. I've really enjoyed chatting to you guys. I always enjoy chatting to you guys. But yeah, it's been really good, and I will see you guys very soon. And hopefully, I will see you. Oh yes, there you go. Some good links going in. Carlos doesn't want it to end. That's very kind of you to say so. Well, maybe you guys
will level up, but other than that, I'm okay.
Maybe you guys will have to come on in a few weeks, and we can have some more chats about bits and pieces. We could do all 3 of us doing a top 5 of something.
Ooh,
I don't know what we would do, but yeah. We'll wait until 6 episodes of your comic have come out, and then we'll do top 5 episodes of your comic.
Well, I know. The one that I don't like is the one that had horses.
Okay,
All
perfect.
the others are my top 5.
Katarina and I have, we mentioned it about it before, but Katarina, actually like me, I don't know why I suggested doing a top 5, but it's the real struggle of picking anything and excluding other things. Doing a top really 5, no. I don't know why I decided to bring this upon myself to have to do this on stream, because I'm really bad at it. If you ever ask me like, what are your top 5 movies? I'll just stand there looking blankly for a while and then probably list about movies. 20. So the
trick is to only make top 5s of really silly things that you don't mind just picking stuff. Yeah. That's the trick.
Yeah. Top 5 friends you've played D&D with. There you go. So we've already got suggestions. Top 5 D&D classes, top 5 things to dilute your coffee with, and top 5 horses. All suggestions.
The ones that I don't have to draw.
Yeah. By the end of it, you've we should do top 5 Katarina's illustrations of horses. No, let's that would be mean, making Katarina look at all the things she doesn't like. So we won't do that. Top 5 ships. Top 5 D&D ships.
Oh no!
It would need to be from only one story.
Oh yeah.
What about if we just plan in an all-day stream and Katarina just does top 100 ships? In no particular order, just talking about all the things. An early shout for Boaty McBoatface for top ship. I did see someone. So I'm going off on a tangent about the one that was stuck in the Suez Canal, which was like Ever Given or something, but from Evergreen. So someone was talking about their favourite ships, about Boaty McBoatface and Ever Given, and then shipping them, so it becoming like very meta shipping. But there, top 5 Katarina spit takes from unexpected innuendos. Oh, there's one for
Yeah.
the category.
Yeah, just for chat information, I literally have an innuendo count on my notebook for our games because of the times that I see Katarina do that.
It's always the
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, good
It's a
times.
lie.
And I mean, it would be fair to say that occasionally we do say things which could perhaps deliberately be innuendos.
Yes, this is true.
Yeah, yeah. It's all good. It's all good. Awesome. Well, yeah, I'm gonna let everybody get going. But as I say, innuendo counter is wonderful. It's absolutely true. But yeah, we can definitely have another chat in a few weeks' time. Maybe we can talk some more. I was really hoping we'd get time to talk about the god who was a drug dealer from one of your other campaigns. So I'll leave you.
Character.
Yeah, I'll leave you with that as a cliffhanger for the next time we get to chat on the stream.
Yeah.
But it has been really, really good. Thank you everybody in chat as well. It's always nice to have the company, to have people to talk with and things like that. It's been awesome.